Hello and welcome to Health Talk. I'm Dr. Manny. It's no secret that how you handle stress has a big impact on your health. However, what if the key to having an optimal health is in how you communicate during those stressful times? My guest today says her patient's inability to communicate was literally making them sick. Dr. Neha Sangwan is the author of Talk RX, 5 Steps to Honest Conversations that Create Connection, Health, and Happiness. Welcome.
Welcome.
Communication. Yeah. Communication is the key to good health. It is indeed. So tell me, how does communication directly affect anybody's health?
When your communication breaks down, your heart rate speeds up. Mm-hmm. Whether it's with yourself, someone else, you notice something in a room that's not okay.
Right.
Right away, physiologically, you feel the change inside yourself.
Right.
Most people are really good at numbing that out. So they don't notice it quite as much. But if you think back to a time when you really got into some conflict, could you feel your body? Right.
So so you're saying, and again, I don't want to put words in your mouth, introverted people that hold all their feelings back, people that don't, like I'm always yelling and screaming, and people always say, you're going to get a heart attack. And I said, no, I'm not. You're going to get a heart attack. So it's better to be sometimes outspoken, if you will.
Okay, so I don't know that it's better to be one or the other.
Okay.
Either way can cause you stress.
Okay.
Right? So if you don't say what you need to say, it can cause you stress. Or if you feel like you're yelling all the time, it can cause you stress.
Right.
And both of those are linked to different ailments. Okay. Heart disease is linked to anger. Some of the depression and silencing some of the silencing and depression leads to a suppressed immune system. So it's about the quality of communication that you have and our ability to express ourselves.
Now, you mentioned a story about your mother having migraines, and when she became aware, I guess, of her internal language, she, her migraines, she was able to handle them and they went away, right?
That's true.
How did that happen?
So the interpersonal dynamics that happen in a family can be complicated, right? So my mom was the quiet one, and my dad was the one that is more like you.
Right, the yeller.
The yeller, right? And I think she just thought it was her role to be quiet and take it. Mm-hmm. She developed migraines, and her doctor actually said there's no physical cause for this, which is always the first step. We want to make sure we tell anyone. You need to get checked out. When you have physical symptoms, that's the first step. Mm-hmm. When you get a clear bill of health, but you still don't feel okay, it's time to pay attention to the communication aspects of your health. So as soon as he sat her down with my dad in the room, and they discussed how she doesn't speak and he yells and what happens physiologically inside her body when he's yelling,
right.
He basically told her, I believe there's 2 reasons for your migraines. The first one is you don't know how to handle your own emotion. You don't express yourself. And then the second is you're in the presence of repeated what feels like an assault to you because somebody else is expressing themselves so much.
Right.
And she said that day, she walked out of that office and never had another migraine again.
All right, so give me some tips that we can tell people how to improve their communication skills.
I never knew that throat constriction, I used to have this sensation of being short of breath all the way through medical school and partway through residency. I got scoped twice, but I never knew that was the part of me that was my mom that wouldn't speak up and say, this isn't okay, or no, I can't do this, whatever it is.
Right.
So once I learned, the first step is people have to notice the physical sensations that are happening in their body and figure out what those mean to them. And I talk all about this to help them. If they're saying, what do you mean by that? I'll go into much more detail in it in Talk RX. The second thing I could tell you is, when someone, when you notice physiologically, when you notice you're getting upset at someone, do you know what those physical signals are? Do you know what they are physically in your body?
I do.
Well, name one of them. Physical signal.
Oh, I daydream that I want to kill them.
Oh, that's like a thought you have, which is like, right? So what about a physical signal? Like, do your muscles get tight? Does your heart race? Backache. Okay. So the moment
knee pain.
Okay.
I mean, I got the whole Megillah.
You feel them all.
Yeah.
So if you start detecting the first signals that tell you you're getting upset, at that moment, you get curious, not furious. So what you say is, oh my goodness, you're sitting in a room, you notice that your knee starts hurting and your back is hurting. Nobody else knows but you.
Right.
So you get the first signals. The question is, are you going to use those to get curious, not furious?
Right.
So what you'd say is, if someone does something or says something that upsets you, you would say something like, hey, I noticed that I was talking and you got up and walked out of the room. I'm wondering what happened. So get curious, not furious. Because
Right.
what you could do is make up a story. I want to kill them. They were disrespectful.
Exactly.
Right?
Okay.
Make sense?
All right, I got it. Well, I can see the whole thing. I mean, I see how internal stress and lack of communication can really affect your head. Now, these techniques that you go into detail in your book, you also talk about how ultimately they could lead you to alter the medications that you take, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because a lot of people get chronically hooked to medicines, whether they're antidepressants
sleep
or their
meds.
backache, sleep meds. I mean, this is a whole big industry.
Anxiety.
And, right. And we as doctors sometimes say, you don't need these things, but in reality, the patient says, yes, I do, because my pain is still there, or I still have difficulty. And you say it's all about communication, right?
So there is such a big component that is communication, because think about it. When you go to sleep at night, right? It's almost like a surrender of your thoughts. If your thoughts are racing and you're worried about what's going to happen next, until I help you quell, soothe that worry, you're going to be up all night. You're going to need something to knock you out.
Right.
Right? Or another one is anxiety, insomnia, pain. I have found that once my patients resolve what's at the root of their stress, which oftentimes is broken communication, toxic work environments, some people will say to me, Doc, I have been in this relationship. I've been in a relationship that has long since expired.
Right.
But I don't know how to get out.
All right. Well, listen, this is a very good topic. I think communication, internally, externally, communal,
socially
is the
politically.
key. Politically is the key to a lot of success. Thank you. Where can people get more info?
Everywhere. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, anywhere online. My website is drneha.com. You just spell out the word doctor.
All right.
Well,
thank you so much for coming. Great information. Communication is the key to everything. And if you have any health questions and you want to communicate with me, email me here at Fox at drmanny@foxnews.com. Until next time, I'm Dr. Manny.